Hey, y'all, it's Dr. Alduan, Tartt, Christian psychologist, and you all asked for it. You asked, what is stressing our kids out? Like, why are they so stressed out? Why are young people so stressed out? There was a report done by the CDC. I'm going to show it to you right now that talked about why our kids are so stressed, and it gave some shocking statistics. I want you to be able to see it for yourself so you can see that I'm not lying to you. So CDC data illuminate youth mental health threats during COVID-19 pandemic. And we'll go over these, but when we start looking at statistics, I want you to look at this report and just read it over. It's a short report, but I want you to look it over because it talks about what's going on with our kids, right? And so we know we're stressed as adults, but our kids are in the middle of a mental health crisis, and it is causing a lot of problems. Like, first thing, right? 37% of high school students reported poor mental health last year. So, like, do we really know what's going on with our kids? Right? I want you just to stop, and I want you to ask your son and your daughter, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you, with life right now? You're going to be shocked with their answer. Now, if you just ask them how they're doing or how their day was, you're going to get a result. You're going to get a cover up. You're going to just get a generic answer, or you might just say it's fine. But if you ask them on that 1 to 10, you're going to be surprised how many of your teens, then you'll start to see 1 in 3. So that means if you have 3 kids, 1 in 3 of them had poor mental health last year. Number two, 44% felt persistently sad or hopeless during the past year. All right. And we started looking at that. I mean, a lot of adults felt that way. I mean, I had to like shut down part of my social media because I kept seeing this monkeypox stuff today, and it was stressing me out. Right. I just went to the gym too. I was like, Lord, did I disinfect? Anyway, let me stay focused. Number three, 55% reported experiencing emotional abuse by parents in the form of put downs, insults, and being sworn at. Now that's a big one, right? So I have 3 children, 16-year-old, 6-year-old, and a 7-month-old, y'all. So I'm all over the place, right? So when I think about that, man, I mean, a lot of us are guilty of parenting the way we were parented, or thinking about how the way things used to be and trying to take that approach. And I can tell you, today's kids are just not going for it. If you haven't noticed, today's teens and children are more fragile. They're more fragile because the world is more fragile, right? We didn't have access to these. Kids know about, my 6-year-old asked me about monkeypox the other day because it came through on a YouTube video, right? Just kids were talking about it on YouTube, right? And our teens are able to see what's going on in social media, and there's a lot going on socially. There's a lot going on social media. There's a lot going on in the world, being in a pandemic, falling behind in school, parents stressed. Y'all get it, all right? So if and kids don't go outside and play and hang out like they used to, so they're really dependent upon us to manage their emotions. So let's dive into what to do when it comes to helping your kids out with their emotions, right? Because I can't treat everyone, right? There's not enough psychologists and social workers and clinical personnel to go around. So I want to give you 5 things you can do as a parent to help deal with your children's emotions. This is going to open up so much. You're going to be so thankful. I pray this helps you out so much so that your kids can open up and tell you what's really going on. All right. So I want you to check out a book called Raising Emotionally Intelligent Children by Dr. John Gottman. It talks about emotion coaching. It talks about how all parents have to adopt this approach, to be able to meet the needs of today's kids. But I'm gonna summarize it for you. I'm gonna give you the 5 things you can do. 5 things you can do to emotion coach your kids to get them to express their emotions. All right, number one, we have to be aware of our child's emotions, right? I know we're busy. I know we're doing a lot of different things. I know when you come home, sometimes you just want to watch the day off, watch a show, rest, sleep, and go back at it. But our kids' emotions are all over their face. I mean, when we look at these shooter cases with violence, how many of the parents do you say he's in his room all the time? She's in her room all the time, and they're disconnected with what's going on with the child emotionally. So we have to check in with our children. So do that 5-minute check in of just how are you doing on a scale of 1 to 10. Kids will say a 3. And then you ask them why, what's going on, and they'll open up. Or you can ask them what will make things better. That's another way to get them to open up. And you're going to see that our kids actually have a lot to be stressed about. Not only what's going on with them in school, but what's going on with us. We're coming home stressed out. Marriage is stressed out. Or being single is being stressed out, right? Taking care of mom or cousin, we're stressed out. Work is stressed out. The world is stressed out. Do you know that in that book, Dr. Gottman talks about if we're stressed out, especially as a man, especially as a dad, that we tend to transfer that stress home. When we come home, you can feel it, right? So we have to be aware of where our children are, but we also need to be aware where we are. All right. So be aware of where your child's emotions. Number two, recognize emotion as an opportunity for connection and teaching. Right. So I saw it on Instagram. A woman came home and her daughter was lying on the concrete driveway in the rain having an anxiety attack, and her mom pulled up and got out the van and just laid down and held her daughter's hand for about a minute, and then her daughter got up and they walked into the house. And I thought about that's right there. Like we would have sometimes if we're stressed out, we come home, we pull up in the driveway and like, what is this girl doing? Laying in the rain, laying down. There you go, being dramatic, right? Not seeing that our child is going through it. This world is rough. And if we can just recognize the emotion as an opportunity to connect. So instead of saying, fix your face, get your attitude right. What you always mad about? Come on, have positive energy all the time. I've definitely been guilty of that, right? We need to look at the emotion and say, "What's up? You don't seem well. Or you seem upset. Or you seem excited. Are you seem more withdrawn than usual? On a scale of 1 to 10, what's going on with you? You're gonna see." And then you have an opportunity to connect and teach them how to deal. I can tell you there are a lot of teen girls right now who are struggling to fit into school as far as socially, struggling where to fit in on social media, right? I mean, boys do a lot better because of the gaming. They're able to connect, and boys don't have tiers for friendships. With women, they tend to have a first and a second and a third friend. And so, where do girls fit in? That's savage starting about fourth grade. If you're a parent, you've seen this where girls begin to not like your daughter for the first time. Whereas in first grade, everyone likes everyone. All right. Number three, help your child verbally label emotions. I want you to Google emotion wheel. Right. I want you to Google it, print it out, hand it to your child. Right. And I want you to have them say, I feel sad. I feel frustrated. I feel invisible. I feel misunderstood. I feel disrespected. The emotion I want you to be on the lookout for if you are raising boys or if you have a man in your life who you care about is incompetency. So a man who feels incompetent is a man you should be concerned about, right? Because that's the base of our ego, how competent, how good we are at something. So I'm good at football, I'm good at baseball, I'm good at academics, I'm good at behavior, I'm good at making my parents happy. I'm good professionally, I'm good at making money, I'm a great dancer. Do you get what I'm great at writing? I'm great at video games. If boys are not good at something, if they don't feel competent at something, their self-esteem is going to be in the tank. How many men do you know who feel incompetent and tell me how happy they are? All right. What you're looking out for girls is you're looking out for disconnection or social rejection. So if your daughter is saying, I feel invisible, I feel rejected, I feel unseen, I feel disconnected. They might say in a number of different ways, like people don't rock with me. It's all kind of ways they say it. Or people see me, but they tend to want to hang with other people. I don't get invited places. Look out for that because that's the core of a girl's identity. That's the core of a woman's identity is how connected she is to 3 to 4 close, solid girlfriends. So make sure that you're having your sons and your daughters actually verbally express this so you know what's going on. We can decrease anxiety and depression, just allowing them to talk about it. And then communicate empathy and understanding. As parents, we're often too quick to lecture or say, "Don't worry about those other girls. And don't worry about making a football team. I don't worry about the fact you don't have a lot of social media. Social media is fake anyway." All right, we just skipped over the feelings. We just skipped over the fact that our kids are raised totally different than how we are. And TikTok and Snapchat and I ain't gonna even say Facebook. They're not on Facebook. Instagram. They're not really on Instagram, right? That stuff matters to them. Now, should it? Maybe not. Right? Kids care about their gaming stats. I'm just keeping it real. We want to have empathy. We want to say, I see you. See, when we're taught that your emotions don't matter, hey, suck it up. If you crying, I'm gonna give you something to cry about. If I want your opinion, I'll give it to you. Hey, what you doing all that crying for? It's not gonna change anything. Hey, you better stop all that crying, boy. Boys don't cry. Well, if you tell someone that they can't be emotional, then they're not alive. We're human. So if I don't have emotions and I can't express my emotions to my parents, then I have to keep them in, which means I have to be invisible. And that's why we see suicide rates skyrocketing for boys. That's why we see 1 in 10 girls at least contemplating suicide, right? That's why you see that stat 44% felt sad or hopeless within the last year. If I can't express it to my parents, you tell me to fix my face, change my attitude, get my mind right, stop all that crying, stop all that whining, right? Then I can't be seen. And I know a lot of us were raised like that, right? Some of you were emotionally abused. Some of your parents didn't talk emotions. We ain't had this. We ain't have YouTube. We ain't have Christian psychologists coming to you on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you watching this, Twitter. We didn't have this. But now that you have it, you know to see your kids. And the Bible says in Psalm 139, that God knows everything we're thinking. All of our thoughts, before a thought is formed, God knows it. And so, if our kids, shouldn't we know what's at least going on with our kids? And if we don't know that they're stressed, or we just say, what does an 8-year-old have to be stressed about? A lot. Mom and dad arguing, kids at school not liking her trying to do well in reading and not being in the top group, being in cheerleading, and the other girls don't talk to her. It's a lot for kids to be stressed about. Right? Boys get 15 and 16, and while they play it off, they realize they're incompetent. They're not going anywhere. They don't play football, basketball. They're not dancing. They're not going to choreography school. They're not going to mechanic school. They don't want to go to the army. They're not sure about college. Don't have the grades. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot. Like, what are you going to do with your life? Right? I mean, where are you going? What are you doing in life? They may play it off, but without that competency, without something to hang their hat on to make them feel, accomplished compared to their peers, it's hard for a boy to feel good. We need to know that. And then number 5, let's keep it real, y'all. I have 3 kids. You have to set limits and then solve the problem as there is one. I'm not sitting here telling you deal with your kids' emotions 100% of the time over punishment. I'm saying do both. But I need to know that if my daughter is feeling stressed out, and that's why she stays up and binge watches Netflix, right? Because she needs some quiet time to herself, right? Because she's in a family unit. I'm gonna punish that a little bit differently than I am you just staying on your phone all night and you don't care, right? If I know that my son just broke up with his girlfriend is with another guy, and it's all on social media, they're taking pictures and whatnot, and that affects my son because he feels inadequate, right? He doesn't understand why he didn't measure up to this girl and why she called him lame and why she all of a sudden just stopped talking to him. I don't know how to respond. Right. If I just say, hey, it's more fish in the sea, never cry over a girl, never trust him. If I do all that toxic stuff, right, I can't meet the fact that he's feeling heartbroken. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. That's what's going on, right? And here's the last note, parents. We have to be honest with ourselves. I want us to give yourself grace. This world is crazy. If we come home stressed, so think about what pressure cooker our kids are under. Think about it at work. All right, at work, we know a toxic culture is stressful, right? If you go into work and it's stressful, you can be happy, you can be optimistic, prayed up in the Holy Ghost, and walk right in and be like, what is going on? A lot of school teachers felt that way last year with all the changes and teachers quitting and mask and politics and policies changing mid-year. It was a lot, right? Police, firefighters, parents, people, black folks in general, people of color. Yeah, it was a lot, right? So if we're not aware of our own stress, right? If we believe in the culture of work, of the world, social media is stressful, right? What do you think the culture of our house is? Right? So if I'm stressed out and my wife is stressed out and our marriage is stressed out and then our family's stressed out and the world is stressed out and work is stressed out, you don't think our kids are going to feel it? So we have to make sure that we take care of ourselves and we're saying, all right, let me bring a better parent home. Let me go skating first. Let me take some things off of my plate. Let us go to marriage counseling, relationship counseling, or let me date. Let me not wait till the kids to get 18 because I'm cranky as a mug, right, mom and dad? Let me go find someone who's as good with relationships as I am. Let me go date another giver, another helper, another healer versus people that won't help, that won't heal. And let me go date someone who's selfless versus selfish so that I can be happier, y'all. All right. So let's look out for our kids. If you want me to send, more stuff like this, just text 22828 and enter Tartt, and then you can join my email list, y'all. So I hope this helps. I pray this helps. Lord God, we ask and pray that every parent watching this is able to open up the emotions of their children, Lord. Allow them to be open to learning a new language, Lord, and realize that we didn't talk emotion. We never even heard of emotion coaching 9 times out of 10, but we know that our children are all about emotions. They're not clocks. They're not radios. They're not televisions. They're little souls, and they have feelings. We have feelings. Males have feelings. Females have feelings, Lord. And so we ask and pray that we be able to open up our own daughters and sons, and even our husband and wives, girlfriend and boyfriends, about emotions so that we know how to respond as if we feel them. What our kids want is for us to feel them, for us to see them, and then behave like we feel them. All right. So I love you, parents. Let me know if this helps. If you want me to speak, you know how to get in contact with me. Just DM or send me a message. Take care. God bless.